What's it say? Stop spying on me, creeps. Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome to the underground laboratory where usually we create robots, aliens, zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. But we've been taking a little departure and working on some Stranger Things fan art as a series called Drawing Stranger Things, where I take some of the core cast of kid characters from Stranger Things, and I do my little rendition of what I think they should look like, sort of in my style and everything. And it all starts in the sketchbook, and this week we are working on a new character. The new character, I think for this season, that sort of joins our friends, a group of friends and everything. Maxine AKA Max, AKA Mad Max, and this is kind of what I did in my sketchbook. If you can see that, I know the lighting is kind of crazy here in the studio, but we will get a better look at her when we bring her into, we're going to go ahead and scan this drawing into the computer, and then we're going to finish everything up digitally. So yeah, let's get to drawing our last. This is our final character in this series, Mad Max. All right, on to what will be probably our final drawing in this Drawing Stranger Things series. We're doing Max this time. And the way we do this, I usually just take my sketchbook and draw a little sketch. I'm using Prismacolor Color Erase pencils. I'm using an orange color right now, and you can use whatever you want. And then I just scan that into the computer. Sometimes I do it digitally. I think the first one I did digitally, the whole thing. But anyway, so now that we've got this in Illustrator, I've traced the outline of the character with the pen tool, so it's all one solid line weight, a little thicker than what you're seeing me do now, where the inside lines. And with that, I'm using the blob tool in Illustrator, and I think that's only available because I was using CS5, and then I upgraded this Adobe CC Creative Cloud, and I think that may be a new feature, so you may need Creative Cloud for that particular function or that tool, the blob tool. But I'm really digging it, and it's allowing me to do a lot of stuff before that I kind of struggled with in Illustrator. And you can also, another option is Manga Studio, if you ever use Manga Studios, or I guess it's called Clip Studio Pro now. But it has similar tools that are they function like sort of raster drawing tools, but they're vector. But anyway, so just kind of filling in all the line work on this thing, and then we're going to go ahead and color that, and I'll hopefully go into kind of my technique for doing that. But yeah, this is a fun character. This is a welcome addition to this gang of kid characters, our core group of kids, and there's so many great characters. And I thought for a minute about doing some of the older characters, but I don't know. I don't want this whole channel just to become just Stranger Things, and there's some other good characters here, but I still kind of gravitate towards this group of kids, because I think they were about the same age that I was at this certain time period, so I kind of like them. But a lot of times when you add new characters, sometimes sometimes they don't really work out, but I think this was the perfect character. I think they really did a good job where, first you're just introduced, and minor spoilers. I'm not going to get too much into any heavy spoilers, but just minor spoilers. So the kids are all going to the arcade, and then somebody has basically obliterated their high score on Dig Dug, and just said, the moniker just says Mad Max, so they're kind of a little mystery. Who's this Mad Max and everything? And then they discover this girl, Maxine, and I think that might be who it is. And from coming from out of town, kind of mysterious, and the whole thing between Lucas and Dustin, they're kind of enamored by her, and it's really great. And there's I like this character because she's kind of came off as sort of this tough character, but as you get to know her, there's more to her than that, and there's definitely a lot of stuff we don't even know about her yet, and I think that'll be fun going into like the third season, because we don't know. We know there's something going on, why they had to leave California to come to Hawkins, and has something to do with her and her brother, which have or stepbrother, Billy, they have a very tenuous relationship. But but you know, there's sort of this, you know, there's scenes where there's sort of this argument or confusion, at least from us, because we don't know what happened, of why they had to leave, and Billy's saying it's because of her, and then she kind of whispers it's because of him. So there's definitely something there, and if you know, and just the way Billy is, I'm pretty sure it was him, but she had to be involved somewhere. So I'm interested in kind of figuring out more about that as, you know, as sort of we move forward with this character. But anyway, I really like Max's attitude, and she's just a fun character. I like how she, you know, she's calls Lucas stalker, and you know, and another thing that came out of this is this whole thing because Lucas and Dustin are sort of vying for her attention. We get these great scenes with Dustin and Steve Harrington, and Steve kind of giving him advice on girls and stuff. And man, I thought about doing some of the other characters. I'd love to do Steve. I probably should draw the line here, but man, those are just so great. Though I love the way we kind of expand on these characters, because if anyone told me last season that I would be such a huge fan of Steve Harrington, I would be like, no way. I mean, but he's so great in this season, and just him and Dustin, man, those were such great scenes and everything. So I'm kind of looking forward to moving on and seeing what we have with these characters. And also, you know, there's sort of, we don't get a lot of interaction between Max and 11, but there's definitely, you know, 11's definitely not too fond of her even at the end. So we'll have to see how that relationship moves on in the third season. But this is all stuff I'm super excited about. And you know, the whole skateboarding thing. Like when I was a kid, I had a skateboard, but I wasn't really a skater. You know, I kind of used it to just sort of get around, and I tried to do stuff, but I wasn't really good at like skateboarding tricks and all that. But I definitely had friends that were and everything, and I always thought that was so cool. So the fact that they were like, oh, she skates, she's cool, and all that stuff. But yeah, I remember all that stuff, and I for my birthday, I wanted this. It was a Rob Roscoe skateboard, and I went and, you know, got to go to the skate shop, and I picked up the board and the trucks and all the rails and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this thing had everything, and the grip tape on it, and I said, oh, I wanted to, because the picture on the artwork on the board was this creature kind of like busting out of the skateboard, and so I wanted to have the grip tape on the front, the top of the board, kind of looked like it had been ripped with claws, and it was, man, I thought this was, I mean, it was a pretty sweet skateboard, especially for a kid who wasn't really so much of a skater. And of course, because I didn't do all those tricks, it wasn't all banged up and cool looking like Max is here. But this is fun doing all the little detail on that. But anyway, yeah, somebody eventually, I don't know what happened to my skateboard, somebody stole it or something. That seems to be the case with all these things I love from my childhood, that either get stolen or lost, or my mom gives it away. And there was also a scene in Stranger Things where Mike's putting away all this stuff, and the Millennium Falcon was one of those things. But yeah, so much great stuff from my childhood. But anyway, back to the drawing. I'm just kind of filling in just all the shadows and highlights. So basically what I do is I kind of get the colors as close as I can based on photo reference, and just flat those colors out, and then I just go with the color slider a little darker for the shadows and a little lighter for the highlights. And one thing that you know, a lot of people sometimes when they do highlights and shadows, they do they do a separate layer with like a filter or whatever, and they use blacks and whites, and I just don't like the way that looks. It tends to look, especially the blacks, tend to look a little muddy. So I always like to pick a little darker, a little lighter as far as my shadows and everything. But anyway, getting close to wrapping this character up, I'm just going around and filling in all the outlines, doing some color holds with some darker colors. So really no blacks in these drawings. It's all, you know, color and everything, and I like putting the little white in background to kind of pop that out, so it looks sort of like those 80s stickers that you used to get in the trading card packs, and that's kind of the style I'm going for. But that's pretty much it. So that's Max from Stranger Things.
Okay, that's going to do it for Mad Max. It's also going to wrap up this Drawing Stranger Things series, and who knows what's going to happen next time you see me. We'll be doing something different, probably robots, probably aliens, zombies,
other Imminent Threats to Humanities like we usually do. But this has been fun. I really enjoyed kind of, you know, getting into, I don't do a lot of fan art, but I do, there's things out there that I do like and I like to work on. So, you know, it's nice to kind of take a break and do some of that kind of stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that too. And there's a lot of other cool stuff coming down the pike. But before I go, I wanted to mention my comic book because it's very, I don't want to say it's, I think if you like Stranger, I was going to say it's similar, but I don't want to get the idea that I've stolen the idea of Stranger Things. Actually, I've been working on this way before I think probably there was even an idea for Stranger Things. But anyway, this is my comic book, Young and the Dead. But if you like Stranger Things, it's very much in the same vein of that. It's kids versus zombies. It's like Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead, and it's a lot of fun. And there are 3 issues available, and I'm working on a 4th issue right now, and I really got to get back into that. So I think that's the next thing I gotta concentrate in diving head back into my comic and really getting some more pages done, because I want to get this thing out as soon as possible. So anyway, if you want to check it out, it's at serkworks.com. And thanks for joining me on this curiosity voyage as I kind of tackle some different things, and I'll see you guys later. That is all. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me here in the Art Lab. There's a lot of other great content on the channel, so click that subscribe button and you won't miss a thing. If you're an aspiring evil genius, visit Serkworks.com for all your mad science supply needs. And if you want to contact me, hit me up in the comments section or follow me on social media. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you then.